Alright, Supernatural Podcast. This week's episode was Brother's Keeper, and it was the season finale. And boy, what a thrill ride it was. Truly a great way to end such a on the edge of your seat season.
It was the perfect way to end a mediocre season. Was the most mediocre episode.
That was a worse ending than last season, just because less stuff happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was terrible as a finale, because it didn't feel very big until what they were doing at the very end.
Yeah, the very end was kind of exciting, but...
Yeah, but it's like, how long will things stay fucked up next season? They'll probably wrap it up in like the first 2 episodes. Year of the Demon! Just kidding, lol.
So, this episode, they've gone the traditional route of the most predictable thing in the world. Once again, my predictions are hilariously wrong when yours are right on the money.
Name?
Rudy.
Rudy! Old pal Rudy shows up. It's like, oh yes, our good buddy Rudy. Remember all our interactions with this guy?
As soon as he showed up, I said, dead. He lasted 15 minutes.
You knew exactly that's all the reason they had to just throw in random hunter guy.
That's what they always do. They throw in random old friend who is there just to be expendable.
It's the most hollow shit in the world, especially when the moment he shows up, you know exactly where they're going with him, just being there at all.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The show's so, ugh. Just the fact he knew. It's like, oh, well, Dean's gonna kill him or be responsible for his death in some way, and, you know, that's exactly what happened. Oh, you know. Awesome.
Rudy,
hey.
I can't believe that Rudy was betrayed after all that Rudy's done for them. Their good buddy Rudy.
Hey, do you remember that Charlie's dead? 'Cause I don't think the episode did.
No, it
We're
did.
well past that, aren't we?
No, they mentioned it.
Oh, in passing? Yeah, it was
well,
good.
When Sam was doing his "You're a good man, Charlie Brown" speech.
Exactly. Nothing that big about it, though.
No,
we were focused more on fucking Rudy dying than Charlie this one.
Yeah, Dean lets a vampire just kill Rudy. Their good buddy Rudy. And then the girl who he rescued is so disturbed by this, which...
Yeah. She's more traumatized by Dean letting a vampire stab Rudy than the fucking vampire straining her blood.
Yeah, they'd captured her, they killed her friend, she'd been captured for how many days now? I mean, she'd had a very traumatic experience, and granted, what Dean did was pretty awful and would add to the trauma. I would think that would not be her main focus over what happened, so that was not the worst thing that happened to her.
Cradling herself back and forth, you know, just like, the guy, he let him stab him! He let him stab him!
And Crowley remembered his I am evil again shtick for approximately 5 seconds before he's like, alright, I'll work with you, Castiel. Save Dean.
It was just that scene in the other episode. Castiel said, did his old Nickelback thing. This is how you remind me what I really am. Just kidding. I betrayed my evil turn, and I'm good again because Castiel called me.
Via the crossroads spell.
I didn't expect a call from you, Castiel. Well, this changes everything.
I like that you can just summon the King of Hell with a crossroads spell.
Yeah, why is he still doing crossroads shit? I'm sure Lucifer did not go up and do crossroads jobs.
Yeah,
He's fucking the leader of hell. He's got a better job title at this point. I should really keep my old job. I want to keep my options open. You never know when this hell thing's gonna go down the shitter and be running a basement on Earth or some shit. You know, it's a really rinky-dink operation now. Hell's not what it used to be.
And they did the twist on the season must end with someone making a dramatic crossroads deal, but instead of Sam or Dean, it's Castiel doing it, and it's not that dramatic. And another twist in that one of the brothers is going to die or have something bad happen to them, and then the other one has to make a decision that will damn the consequences, is gonna fuck up everything. And now that I think about it, because Sam orchestrated this whole thing with Rowena and the book and getting the mark off of Dean, he caused the apocalypse again.
Yep.
How many times is Sam gonna cause the apocalypse? When Dean was doing that speech about the world would be better without them, it really is true. Yeah. They're the world's worst rescuers of people.
Obi-Wan, shame on you. Oh, can't get fooled again.
So, according to this spell, Rowena they have to gather all these other ingredients and stuff, and then Rowena has to kill something she loves in order to get the mark off of Dean.
What if she just loved money, though?
Well, I guess it has to be something killable.
Kill money.
I guess you'd destroy it, you'd set it on fire.
Yes, maybe. And
it turns out, via just introduced this episode, she loved a little Polish boy that helped her 300 years ago, that she made immortal, but only when he grew up, who turned out to be the Waffle House kid that Crowley was trying to make a deal with. So apparently Waffles there was incredibly important to the finale, because why the fuck not? Random Waffle House guy was so important to her. This rings pretty hollow. It's not like they couldn't have introduced this element earlier in the season, like, oh, Rowena loved someone at one point.
All these things are shit they should have been building up towards for the whole season, but the season's been puttering around just like it doesn't know what it wants to do. So.
Yeah, well, they had too much plot going on. They couldn't talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
They had to just now introduce Rudy and Waffles and all this other stuff. They just kind of glanced over Castiel being okay with killing that guy.
Yeah, that was really fucked up. I didn't think he would just be, that's cool, kill him.
So he's no better than Sam or Dean at this point. Just like, whatever.
Yeah, this guy's life is worth trading to save Dean. All right. I love when Sam's, though, making a speech at Dean. Like, it's right after Dean says, I gotta send myself off to space or some shit to make sure I don't hurt anyone else. And, I'll just be alone with the mark and, everyone else will be safe. Dean, this isn't you! What? Like, that's not an evil thing to say, Sam, you stupid sack of shit. Acting like he's being evil here, saying, I need to sequester myself, get myself away from everyone so I don't fucking hurt anyone else, because I can't get rid of the mark, or else I'll fucking cause the apocalypse. So I'm just gonna go off alone and, save everyone. No, Gene! You're not bad. Don't do terrible things like save everyone at the sacrifice of yourself. That's the most evil thing you've ever done.
This constant cycle of them doing these fucking moronic things to save each other.
Yeah.
It really would be better if they were dead at some point.
I love they were talking about, like, Sam would never give up on Dean. He'd do anything to get him. Unless he finds a dog. We've already proven it's not true. Like, it's true, though. The show has already done it, that he will not do it, depending on the circumstances, apparently. He'll leave Dean to rot when he's, way less worse circumstances of saving him. Because that was just purgatory. If you got him out of purgatory, it wasn't going to cause the destruction of the world, but this was. But of course, he wouldn't leave this time alone.
Well, to be fair, Sam didn't know it would cause the end of the world this time.
They talked to him about it.
They didn't tell him that. Dean didn't even know till Death told him about it, that the mark.
Yeah, but he was telling him there at the end.
Yeah, but Sam couldn't stop it by then.
I know, but still, they still acted like Sam would do anything to get Dean, even after he told him that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that one, at least, he couldn't really do
Yeah, I
anything
mean,
about
at
it
that point, it's
point.
just that they still acted like he would, though, even though they told him it'd be the end of the world.
One thing that gets me, so Dean summons Death, which is great to see that actor again, because he's great. He summons Death to tell him, or Death tells him that the mark was created by God to keep the darkness that was the world before it was created at bay, I guess, is what he was saying. And it was like a seal to keep it out, and then he gave it to Lucifer, and that's what corrupted him. And then Lucifer gave it to Cain, and then Cain gave it to Dean. So what they're saying is Lucifer was corrupted by this. The devil, the source of his evil was the mark of Cain. So apparently this is as evil as the devil. This was the cause of the devil. And the worst thing that Dean does this season is wear a cowboy hat with Crowley and then kill Rudy McWho the fuck cares.
And the Frankensteins.
And the Frankensteins. How is that anything remotely close to as evil as the devil? Like, what a fucking letdown that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like, it was starting out okay when they showed Dean in his downward spiral and he was being an asshole to everyone, but then it was like there's no real payoff to that. Just like anything this season, there's no payoff to anything. Like what happened with Bobby in the heaven jail, not touched upon. Metatron escaping, not touched upon.
Fucking idiots.
None of those
They're
things.
They're just gonna leave everyone in shitty situations and be like, LOL, we're not doing anything about it.
If they wanted to show Dean doing something super evil, have him kill Charlie then. If you're going to kill Charlie off, have him kill her off. And that would be that much more meaningful than Rudy.
Extra. I mean, it was dumb enough to kill off one of their few other characters again, however you went on that rant. But then they barely do anything with it this episode. They're just fucking stupid. Just, we'll kill them. Guess that was big for that episode after it. We don't really need to make it a big thing in the next time. We need to throw in another hunter, though, to kill him off, and that'll be what really makes Dean sad.
Rudy, no! I unintentionally got him killed!
Rudy,
indirectly!
He was my best friend.
That's not even the worst thing.
We talked all the time on the phone.
They've gotten other hunters killed in far dumber ways that they could have prevented.
Yeah.
Really, they're assholes in far greater degrees in episodes they weren't supposed to be evil.
They needed Dean's hair for that spell, right? Is that what it was for?
Yeah,
and just Sam's like, oh, by the way, Castiel, I have my Dean hair clippings back. Here you go.
They just leave us hanging on that one.
Yeah, apparently just Sam every once in a while sneaks in and snips off a little bit of Dean's hair and keeps it in a bag. Never know.
I thought they were going to throw out like a one-sentence explanation, which would be like kind of crummy, but at least explain it. But then they didn't. They just cut to the next scene. Like, what?
Yeah.
I thought they'd throw in something.
I got Dean's hair.
Yeah, this is Dean's hair. Take it.
I don't want to know what you do with this.
You know, all this makes it sound like more happened than it did. Honestly, most of this was just talky talk the episode. Just lots of standing around and talking. Yeah,
like he called Death, they talk. They're talk. Fucking Castiel and Crowley are talking. They talk to Rowena. Polish boy comes in and they talk.
You know, the thing is, when Death first showed up, when they introduced him on the show, they had that scene in the pizzeria where Dean and Death are talking for a while over eating the deep dish or whatever they're eating. Mm-hmm. That was good, and it meant something because the show was so, they're like fighting the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and there's all this action going on, and they, that was before the show just fell into just circling the drain.
Right.
And then when Death shows up, they fought like war and plague and all these other things that are like, like scary and they could kill you. And then Death shows up and he just sits down and he eats a pizza with him and he talks to him. And it was really unique. And that meant something, that conversation. It wasn't just talking to talk. there was something to it. But here, it was just like non-stop shot, reverse shot talking. Maybe pacing every once in a while, but it's just nothing.
There's nothing you felt like it was building to until it suddenly threw up the apocalypse shit at you.
I didn't expect your apocalypse prediction to be right, but it seems that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that was my thought. What, Dean and Sam, last two on Earth.
Dean kills Death, by the way. And when he kills
Death... This was the absolute dumbest thing.
When he kills him, they cut to them killing Waffles, and it's like, what, can people die then? Now, even though Death is dead?
Like, I call bullshit on that working after you've killed Death. Well, Dean says that too. He's like, I think I just killed Death.
Because what does that mean, really? Like, can no one die now?
That should fuck up the world, I would assume, and people wouldn't die.
If that meant that the next season is like Mad Max post-apocalypse, people run around like zombies, that would be interesting. I doubt that's what they'll do. But it would be an open window for that.
Far too off the normal for Supernatural. I expect this cloudy day to be sorted out by episode 2.
That's true. Anytime
it's a giant wind machine. All right, I'll flip the power. Blows the clouds away. It looks like it's going to be a sunny day today, Dean. I should wear my cowboy hat. Ha ha ha. And I betrayed everyone with free cowboy hats. What?
Anytime that they end a season with like, oh my god, this is a game changer, it never happens. Like, it's like, oh, the angels fell from heaven. Dun dun dun. It didn't really matter. Oh, they opened the gates of hell. Okay, back to normal. Well.
Year of the Demon was a crock of shit.
Yeah, Dean is a demon. Fixed. Whatever.
Yeah, fixed. Oh, then he's kind of bad once we remember the plot at the end of the season again. Like, there's non-stop talking about the fucking mark being on his arm, but it's usually business as fucking normal for the fucking season.
Yeah.
Just with talk about the mark. Oh no, the mark, Dean. Might make you eat some more pies. I don't know. Don't eat junk food, Dean. The mark loves junk food.
And then Sam shows him some pictures, and then he goes, here's some cowboy pictures. Let them be your guide.
Yeah. Drops the cowboy picture, and that's when Dean realizes he needs to kill Death and fuck the whole world over.
I'm glad that was in the recap. The cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats. Just reminding us that the best part of this season happened in between seasons and wasn't actually something we got to see. Because even the recap was pretty weak.
It really was.
Like, they showed us the musical one. It's like, remember that one? It was pretty good. It's like, yeah. Also reminds me that they were reminded of their fucking brother they left in hell and still said, LOL, who cares?
Maybe now that the darkness has been released, then Adam is out. I don't know if that means hell. I guess that's a different darkness than hell. Is it worse than hell? What is the darkness? Is it the band that believed in a thing called love? What is it that got released?
Darkness that was there, though, before God created the heavens and the earth.
So, but is it supposed to be, like, worse than hell, or... what is it, though?
I assume it's something, because, I mean, yeah, it's worse than hell, I guess. It's just... I don't know if it's just supposed to be blankness, or what it's supposed to do.
Well, I think it's supposed to be pretty evil, because the seal corrupted people, so... That's what I guess, anyway.
I guess so.
Why did the Book of the Damned have a spell for removing this mark when it's never been done before?
I don't know.
Did the power of 3 set them free?
Yeah.
It's a power of 3 spell. How do you know that? The power of 3 didn't exist before. The hell?
Everyone can't die except that guy had to die for that spell to work, apparently.
Who was immortal previous to that.
That doesn't make sense.
The guy who was immortal previous to that.
Yeah, the guy who was immortal can be killed by getting stabbed in the neck.
I guess they could say, because Rowena set the spell to make him immortal, she could break it, but still.
With a knife.
With a knife. Well, I mean, she's magical.
I'm gonna stab that spell out of you!
And then they taunted us that she's more powerful now, like maybe now she's a threat instead of just sitting around, like, nagging at Crowley all season. Like, that's what I thought should have happened the whole season. Why were they dinking around?
If you wanted to go there with her, just do it from the get-go. Don't fuck around this whole season going, know what we're doing with her.
Because it really felt...
hell show.
Because it really felt like we had no villain this season. Not even Dean.
He didn't. Their big final fight was fucking Dean punched Sam in the face a few times so he got a bloody nose, and he's like, "That's enough, Dean."
His fight with Castiel was more climactic than that.
Yeah.
The fight at the end of season 9 was more climactic. With him and Booger and some garbage cans was more climactic than that. That's so sad.
Going up and stabbing Abaddon in her hotel suite was more climactic.
Yeah, it was only...
It sucked.
It was only the last few seconds when they did that darkness rolling out. That was a cool shot. There was some tension there. That was scary.
Oh, they pissed me off, though, that Dean fell into that pothole. And just, oh, well, I guess we can't do anything. Like, fucking get out and push or fucking try rocking
it. They can't get out.
One wheel stuck in a pothole, you dumb shit.
They can't get out. The car will protect them.
Yeah, the car from the evil darkness. Of course. I don't think they're going to be able to drive away anyway, but the fucking dummies thought they could, so fucking try a little harder.
We're going to outrun the cloud of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
The smoke monster going to get us.
It's just like, we got to drive away. Oh no, we got a wheel stuck. Well, you know what happens when you do that? You go, fuck it, can't do anything.
I mean, to be fair, I guess if you were in the same situation, you could at least try to run away. What else are you going to do? But
well, exactly. So you get out and push the car out of the fucking pothole and drive. You go, well, fuck, let's watch it. Because it's not like it happens just as the cloud gets them. They get stuck and then they sit there and go,
well, if they hadn't made it last as long, they wouldn't seem like such dummies.
No,
you know, because it was kind of, you know, if you were looking at that coming at you, that'd be really scary. But yeah, they were waiting a bit too long for that. I bet you they're gonna say Death didn't really die. I bet they're gonna pull like Death survived. That was
stupid.
Well, I think that seems like something Death did to trick him or something like that. Didn't they do something like that before? They thought Death was dead, but he wasn't, or that he was gone. I don't know. It seems like something they would do, but who knows?
If they did, though, it's just like, well, they killed... We've killed so many side characters, it got to the point where we had to kill Death.
But at least... Yeah, but that's at least a story dramatic death. It's not just death for pointless death.
Stupid.
Well, the whole thing is stupid, but I would take that over fucking, like, who's Rudy? I don't know, dead, you know, at least...
Look, like you said, like, Death was not being an unreasonable dick at all this whole episode.
Yeah, I don't know why he did, yeah.
Is like, yeah, alright, and I don't know, this is something they decided that they had to kill Sam. I don't know, just because he wouldn't stop. They couldn't think of taking him to a pet store.
Yeah. Death is being more than reasonable. Like, he's just like, hey, I could remove the mark and then fuck everyone over. I could do that. Or I could send you to, like, another dimension or space or something, or you could
Wasn't
hurt
like
anyone.
Death came in and said, yo, fuck, I gotta...
Yeah, he summoned him.
Do these things. Dean called him and made him, like, what, he made nachos and shit?
Yeah, that's the thing I'll call bullshit on. Dean can't make tamales. Don't try to tell me Dean can make tamales. I can't see that happening. Was he, like, going crazy from the mark, like, sweating and evil, and then making tamales, sweating all day over them? Because they do not take a short amount of time to make. Like, that's an all-day thing. Like, he's like, gotta make these tamales for Death before the mark gets me. He couldn't pick, like, a quicker type food to get while he's on his downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he lied and there's store-bought food, and that's even worse, lying to Death about the food that he got him, you know?
Yeah, but you think killing Death would fuck up the whole world's system of death, so that'd be a really bonehead move. But whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what this will do.
Maybe he thought he couldn't kill anyone again. I don't know what the logic behind it was, honestly.
Kill anyone so you're gonna overrun the planet because no one can die. That's gonna fuck the planet over worse.
That's far worse than what he was doing with the mark before.
Just, the idiocy of that move. It astounded me. I just killed death. What bad happened?
So, ho-hum.
Yeah, that was the theme of the season, apparently. Year of the ho-hum.
It just felt like it was an unnecessary season altogether. I mean, you could cut out the entire middle of it and nothing would have happened.
Yeah, it had, on a whole, better episodes than last season, but, I mean, fuck, did it not strive for anything very good with its story.
Yeah, it was less infuriating than last season, but there was a lot you could just skip that was
Sam
nothing.
and Dean were more likable this season, which was a big thing, because that was just making Season 9 miserable to watch. But
also, this is the year that Dean's got the mark. And he's more likable than when he didn't have it.
Yeah, and I think I said that, back in one of the earlier ones. It's like, why the fuck is Dean more reasonable now than he was in Season 9 when he's got this fucking mark making him evil?
So, what are you hoping for next season now that we have completed the season finale?
Well, I would like to actually see them do an apocalypse-type story and have the status quo shaken up, but I really believe it'll be Castiel with his wind machine and solved in 2 seasons or 2 episodes and back to fucking case of the week while they complain about, I don't know, Sam being constipated and if he doesn't shit soon he's gonna turn evil or something. I don't know.
It's my turn to be evil this season.
Or I guess maybe they'll both have to team up and deal with Castiel being evil. That'll be it turned on its head. Like, neither one of them has something bad. Now it's Castiel's problem.
No, but they already did that with Leviathans, and that lasted 2 seconds as well.
Mm-hmm.
Another,
that can be the season-long thing, that Castiel's got a problem, and they gotta fix it.
I guess.
Because someone always has to have a problem. They even brought that up, too, when Dean dared to bring up continuity and was like, remember when you were dying, Sammy, and we were turning Crowley into a human, and who knows if that did anything anymore, but maybe it did because he keeps flip-flopping on if he's good or not, I don't know, but... And it's like, Dean, don't bring up when we're in the reverse situation. That's too much. We'll just point out to people that we keep doing the same thing, but change which character it's on.
Yep.
Oh, Sam or Dean has a big problem. The other's got to save the other. But they'll be really stupid about it.
That's the tagline for the show, isn't it, really? But they'll be really stupid about it. So I hope for Apocalypse, like you. I don't think they will stick with it. I think it will be solved very quickly. But if they had a whole season that was just Apocalypse, that would be more interesting than what they've been doing. It'll probably just be some random solve, and then Rowena is doing random shit all season.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're doing.
A way to help Castiel or something stupid.
So, that was the season finale. Possibly the end for the Supernatural podcast. Dun dun dun.
For sure.
So, if you guys want to see us review the next season the same way, let us know in the comments. If not, it was a fun ride. Got any final words, Phelan?
I don't understand this podcast.
Fun ride. I'm such a liar.